They have a liberal dude arguing with the Trumpist. It's stupid. Okay, genuine question. How can you stomach that? You know? How can you... I genuinely don't understand it. Like, how do you watch that without an intermediary force such as myself covering it, you know? I don't really watch political content unless I'm streaming, you know? Like, that's my job. Is being fat a choice? Fit men versus fat men. Is the implication that all fat people would think that it's not a choice? What does that even mean? Are there not fat people who would be like, yeah, I love pizza?
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Shame is what led me to an eating disorder.
Whose fault
When
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
That's your fault.
It's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim.
BTS.
Like looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No.
I think
He's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
Hey, why aren't the fat guys showing off their guts? What the... Oh god, fresh and fitter here. Like basically all people on this platform except for me, Jubilee doesn't have any principles. They literally just get the most like entertaining. Like, what is the framing here? Is being fat a choice? And then you have a bunch of like yoked people who have literally dedicated their entire lives to working out and steroid use. And then it's like, oh yeah, here's some fat guys, like which is better? Like the whole purpose of this video, I assume, is to make fun of the fat guys, right? Is having a fast metabolism. We're not even talking about your metabolism, dog. This dude's roided. I'm not even saying that as an insult. It's just an objective fact. You'd have to be delusional to think you could achieve this body natty. Like, this guy has dedicated his life to bodybuilding. He's not, like, fit. He's a bodybuilder, you know? That's a different category. Nice try, Flavier. Also, we're opening with fascist rhetoric.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Fascist. This is degeneracy theory. Social contagion. The idea that if an undesirable is in public, that means that they spread undesirability. This is like one of the pillars of fascist ideology. That man has an ED. There are a lot of muscular guys who've got anorexia, man. It's pretty common. Jubilee in 1939, Nazi versus Jew. Literally, like, yeah, they would do that. That's in line with their ethics, yeah. Do you think the standards for what's considered fit have been made unreasonably high? One of the most freeing moments that you can have as a guy is when you hit, like, I don't know, 20, and you realize that almost nobody has a six-pack. There are some people who are skinny, and as a consequence of skinny, you can see the abdominal plate, like they have a toned stomach, but a six-pack, like 6 defined separate individual abdominal muscles, each visible of their own, the very tiny portion of the population has that, you know? Even though you see it all the time in movies and video games and all that other crap, in real life, basically nobody actually has them. You know, very small number of people. And the people who have them are usually in communities where a lot of other people have them, you know? Like, the gym guys or people who are super into rock climbing or whatever. Like, yeah, sure, they do, and they're in communities where that's really common, I guess, or maybe more common. But out there in, like, the real world, generally, not so much. I still want them, though. That's fine. You can want them all you want. Just know that it's kind of, you know, out there. Like, that's fine. Whatever. More girls like thin guys than buff guys. Honestly, like, a lot of girls like the dad bod thing anyway. I mean, who the f knows? If you work out a bunch as a guy, you know who you're impressing with those muscles? Other guys. That's always how it is, you know? It's like that in every community. You get a nice car and get into, like, car maintenance because you want to impress the girls. All your friends ends up being like car guys, you know? You get into working out, you get muscles, other guys are out there going, damn, man, you're yoked. You get into joking to impress women with your huge cock, you're on the joking forums where other men are like, yo, great joking sesh, man. You get into fashion, like, oh, I'm going to impress women with my incredible knowledge of the rule of thirds and color and like silhouette proportioning. It's like, no, mother, you're impressing other guys. That's how it is. It's like with makeup. Like, men are delusional when they think women wear makeup for men. Are you kidding me? Men don't know what makeup is. Men can't identify makeup. Men will point at a woman who spent 30 minutes putting makeup on that morning and go, oh yeah, I like girls with no makeup, you know, like I like the natural look. They have no idea. Women put crazy makeup on to impress other women or gay men. Why do you think there's such a disconnect in this respect? Because in reality, people of the other sex or gender or people you're attracted to and are trying to gun for aren't usually interested solely in like a specific peacocking hobby that you get into. In reality, getting into a very specific dedicated hobby usually means you make friends in that hobby, not people outside of that hobby who are like impressed by your dedication to a hobby they're not a part of, you know? It's such an insane self-report when a guy says girls only go for guys who have six packs and are rich. It's literally like easiest indication this motherfucker has never talked to a woman IRL. Nothing could be further from the truth. Your understanding of women is like completely built off of you seeing, like, I don't know, rage bait other men posts to make you angry at women. You know, you have no idea. You have no idea what's out there. Aren't you always saying that ranting about your hobby is a great way to raise up people? Because it shows confidence, because it shows interest, because it shows energy. Not because, like, the hobby itself is what pulls people in. Like I said, like, you can talk about your interest in trains or whatever, but if you impress somebody with that, it's probably not going to be because they actually really like the train thing. It's going to be because of the enthusiasm and energy you're bringing to the table. That's, you want to be authentic, but authenticity is a sell in and of itself, right? Like, you're not, being authentic isn't valuable only insofar as your authenticity is like a mechanism by which you're delivering your familiarity with something they're already interested in, right? Like, it's just the authenticity is the authenticity. It's just nice hearing people talk about shit they're into, you know? It's just nice hearing people care. Jubilee isn't really ideological IMO, they're just selling discourse. Yeah, but that is ideology, right? Like, positioning and equalizing a bad position and a good position for, like, the gladiatorial debate is like a normalization of the bad position. The equation of the two is taking a side, you know? You're doing Dave Rubin shit. Have you ever rizzed somebody up by ranting about car-dependent cities? My literal current partner responded to a Hinge prompt where I was talking about walkable cities. Yeah. Like, you want an example of the effectiveness of this strategy? Yes. That's the most autistic riz since I made friends with someone over my dinosaur autism. I wonder if autistic riz is the wrong way to, like, frame it. I think that talking about your interest is just generally good. Do you think it's possible for debate between a correct position and a dogshit position that doesn't have the effective platform of the dogshit position, but rather just yeah, but you have to, like, stack the deck, right? Debate is a horrible way of finding out whether or not any position is right or wrong. The person with, like, the zinger is the one who comes out having won in the public perception, you know? Equating it through the format of the debate is bad because they shouldn't be equal. They're not the same. It's like having a debate between a person who believes in evolutionary theory and a person who believes in creationism and framing it as though both of them are like, who won, you know? Like an epic rap battle of history or whatever. I mean, you can frame things properly, but, like, again, debate is a vehicle for entertainment, nothing more. It can be effective at changing people's minds, to be sure, but it does so through the infotainment. Like, let's not pretend that, you know, you're using a process that helps people arrive at the correct conclusions by default. You know, it's not like debate. It's not like debates are like, oh, the most logical person won. So debate is all about rhetoric and proxy war. I don't know what the proxy wars have to do with it, but yeah, with rhetoric for sure. Except for your debates, everyone's debates, all debates. That's how it is. The whole comment section of the Trump versus non-Trump Republican debate is talking about the one dude insulting the other's bodies. That's all people care about. That's all people remember. They just remember the zingers. We need to replace debates with Socratic dialogue. Have you ever tried employing the Socratic method while talking to somebody, like a conservative? It's like, genuinely, how do these people put their clothes on in the morning? You know? Have you ever attempted this? They can't handle, like, one follow-up question. Like, any question to get them to, like, follow through on their beliefs or why they believe this or what. Like, they think it's a debate tactic. Like, asking them why they believe the things they believe, they act like you're shooting their kid, you know? Yeah, exactly. You have to walk them through to their own conclusions. It's crazy. I spent years in unhinged political chats and forums all to prep myself to debate literal to fall apart after one question. It's so boring. It is, genuinely. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's one of the reasons my opinion on the whole format has soured significantly, because it's like you get into a debate and it's like, you know, in this corner, weighing 215 pounds, 6'2", you self-proclaimed debate lord of the left, the dirtbag leftist, vaught, and then you've got the other guy, you've got like the 10-minute openings or whatever, and then you, like, your direct, like, engagement opening question is like, hey, why do you believe X? And they're like, a what? Straw man, pivot, don't again. You're like, wait, hold on. Why do you believe X? Like, this isn't even an argument yet. I'm just trying to ask a clarifying question. But they're so defensive that they don't even do that. Like, even asking clarifying questions where answering could benefit them, they don't do, because they're so defensive. They get evasive at any attempt to explore what they believe in, you know? It's crazy. Are those wins not valuable? Not really. I mean, they can be, like, theoretically, but I could also be valuable to just bang out a segment where I'm not having to bounce my ideas off of Troglodyte, you know? Yeah, exactly, Manakini. That was the whole point of the Fortress arc, you know? Because eventually you realize, like, oh god, I was trying to do debates, but now every stream I have to wake up to, like, 50 chatters telling me updates on all the people who are in the orbit now. Like, what, did you see X said Y? I don't care. You gotta break free of the cycle. Yeah, if you can, Steph's Not Fluffy. The dynamic has advanced since 5 years ago. Exactly, you can't debate yourself out of samsara. Exactly. I mean, if you guys want content, I'm pretty sure that I'm scheduled to do a debate on breaking points pretty soon. I got a random email. They invited me to debate some guy, I don't know who, I need to remind myself, on Ukraine. I'm not really sure what prompted that. Maybe the list of, like, pro-Ukraine leftists was pretty short. Yeah, the white aside, exactly.